This is Mystery Scotch Tasting with Gentlemen of the World. We are a club that gets together and we try Scotch blind. We've got a special night tonight. We have a showdown tonight of our two favorite scotches of the year, Torabhaig and Highland Park. Was it
Cask Strength?
Yeah,
I think so.
Cask Strength is the name of it. So we are blind tasting both to see which one is the best. I'm Justin.
I'm Dave.
Andrew.
Dave.
Chip. Vern.
Evan.
And I think we're going to start with Scotch number 1. So just picking up Scotch number 1, what do we see, guys?
I see Scotch.
Good
I see what I
observation.
hope is Scotch. It's,
Very light.
Very light.
flat champagne?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Or Chardonnay.
Or Chardonnay, yeah.
So we have two guests here tonight, Dave and Chip, and they have poured these for us. So the rest of us in the club, we have no idea what these two are.
Well, by no idea, you mean we know.
We know a little
pretty
bit.
damn well
A little
which
bit, just a
one's
little
which.
bit. But for you viewers at home, we have no idea.
Yeah.
We are totally going into this blind, have no idea.
But we also don't know that they're Torabhaig and Highland Park Cask Strength. Right?
Yeah.
Things we don't know.
Yeah.
So, yeah, really light appearance.
I mean, it's like water, almost.
Was this pears in a pan? Because I got like pear on the nose.
Uh-oh.
I got a pan on my nose.
Uh-oh.
And you two are sitting next to each other, so it must be.
We're the human version of pears in a pan. Halloween costume, check.
Halloween was last month.
Next year.
See,
It'll
next year.
still-
It's never too early to get started.
Getting like really light floral smoke. Is there such a thing as floral smoke? Like if you burn flowers?
I mean, heather is a...
Heather.
Yeah, that
That's
kind
what
of
it is.
earthy floral note.
Which is the stuff that grows on top of peat. So why not?
But the image of burning flowers, that's
Yeah.
that's
dark.
That is
Suck
dark.
it, hippies.
Super dark.
But this is super light.
Mm-hmm.
But still, yeah, definitely like fresher fruits with a smack of sea spray.
Mhm.
And that's why I got on the nose.
Like dry grass,
Sure.
maybe hay.
Mhm.
I mean, like my grandfather's farm, there was always hay bales everywhere.
Andrew's grandfather's farm. I'm getting a little bit of that.
Right.
Andrew's
as well.
childhood.
That's
It
very
sounds
relatable.
like Andrew's
You don't need to
childhood.
have been there to know what that smells like.
A little bit of like sweet, light cream, kind of lemon.
It definitely
Yeah.
smells good.
Lemon
Yeah,
zesty.
yeah, it
Mhm.
smells
Yeah, a little
delicious.
Yeah, lemon zest.
Yeah, maybe that lemon head note.
And we are all just smelling.
I don't
Nobody's
get,
even
like,
tasted
the
it yet.
saccharin, the super, what is that? Artificial sugary smell of lemon heads.
Mm-hmm. High fructose corn syrup.
Yellow 5.
Yellow number 5.
Getting a yellow 5 on the nose.
Yeah.
I'm getting like meat, like bacon or
Oh.
some sort of salted meat.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Okay.
Oh, you got the wrong one.
Dave, which one are you trying? I want that one.
I think I'm going to try
Okay.
drinking
I think you
Scotch
should.
number 1.
Can we do that?
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
Yeah.
I got more of that. Did you say vanilla something or cream, custard
Yeah.
something?
Yeah.
Like it's hot. 1 second. It's hot.
Let the flames.
I was really trying to taste it, and it was like I forgot that it was really hot. Breathe, Vern. No, I got like the lemon.
It's like a lemon meringue almost.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's good.
lemon meringue, and it also has the same mouthfeel as kind of a lemon meringue. That like nice coating on the mouth hangs around for a little bit.
A little bit of the vanilla from the oak, I think.
It's weird because I didn't smell any of the vanilla,
No.
but now it's here, and kind of I guess the sea spray is still there at the end, but it was even the fresh fruits kind of went away, and it was all.
Yeah, I think it left fruit and like went vegetable.
Which
Vegetables.
Yeah, what
I feel like carrot. It was so lemony before, and then the lemon disappeared into like this nice stew almost.
Oh,
Nice.
Interesting. Now you got me thinking vegetables. Kind of like sliced bell pepper.
Whoa.
Like a party platter
Yeah.
without the
Uh-huh.
dip.
Okay.
Oh, sans dip, huh?
Sound offended.
Yeah. Gotta have dip.
Dipless bell peppers. Yeah.
New note. I like it.
I think I'm gonna actually, after the vegetable comment, like carrot cake.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
You did it. You
And Dave has done it.
over from
Yeah.
like the lemon cream
Yeah.
to carrots.
you two have,
carrot cake.
yeah,
Holy
have
moly.
brought it all back together.
Wow. But still, I mean, for me, it's light carrot cake, like very fluffy carrot cake.
Yeah. There's a definite sweetness that comes like with a carrot cake
Mm-hmm.
on the finish.
I'm stuck with what Chip said about, you were talking about carrots and then you brought up stew, like carrots in a stew. And I could almost kind of taste that stew, like I don't know what the dark kind of gravy is.
Like a hunter's stew kind of thing? Like a hearty stew.
Where I get a little bit of that kind of gravy.
Like a shepherd's pie kind of
shepherd's
thing?
pie.
Almost.
With the crust.
Yeah, with the crust. Which pie, carrot cake, desserts.
Yeah, scotch.
Reaching?
Actually, Dave, I'm going back to something that you said. I'm getting a little bit of almost like a smoked, not bacon necessarily, but like pork tenderloin, or like kind of a like slightly smoky meaty flavor.
In your stew?
Yeah, in the stew a little bit.
I knew it.
Yeah, it's doing in there.
I feel like the vegetable notes kind of taper off for me, and it's more like a lingering, kind of like a soft sweetness. For me, it's just vanilla, a lot of oak.
I feel like the nose, it's a transformer, you know? It's like the nose is that vanilla, zesty sea spray, and then as soon as you drink it,
Optimus Primes on you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Optimus Prime has some smoked bacon in his boot.
Yeah, it has a good amount of smoke on the back end there. Yeah,
This will go really well with a smoked pork chop.
Mm-hmm.
now I'm hungry.
Yeah, food pairing. I don't know.
Great food pairing, Scott.
What would you pair? Obviously, stew. Did we already say everything? Lemon meringue pie and stew is what you would pair this
carrot
with?
cake.
And carrot cake.
Yeah. Yeah. I do kind of feel like this is a dinner scotch. Like I could have, I do picture like steak and potatoes and some kind of hearty vegetable with this scotch for me. Thank you.
But it's like a cheesy potato though. It's like a potato with like maybe cream cheese.
See, you guys are way more savory than me. Like this is a afternoon scotch with like a.
Here goes Vern talking about the seasons.
You know me.
Is this late spring?
It is late spring. You know me so well. It's late spring, and I have a niçoise salad near Nice,
South of France,
in the south of France. And there's children nearby, like laughing.
What's the temperature?
And it's lighter. It's not the temperature.
Yeah.
In Celsius.
Pleasant
20.
20.
Is that good?
Somebody convert that for us.
Somebody look that up really quick.
It's 20 degrees out.
I don't think you guys are wrong with the savory stuff, but I'm not getting a lot of it.
You're in Nice with
I
me,
got
aren't
like
you?
notes of it.
The thing I'm getting, it's kind of like a thyme savoriness. So it's like lemon thyme. Think like roasted chicken, roasted pork tenderloin kind of.
Yeah.
Where it's not like overly,
tenderloin.
Kind of lighter white meat.
It is lighter white meat,
Yeah, it's like light.
like rosemary roasted.
Yeah, with like
No,
cracked pepper on it.
rosemary's a little too strong. You want
Yeah.
thyme. It's a little lighter, more spring forward.
Late spring.
So
And
Andrew, what are
Nice.
you drinking this with? If you're eating something with this scotch, what is it?
If I am,
If you are.
I was actually going to say I would. This is one that I think I would like to drink on its own, but
No,
If
I
you
were
I'm
eating it-
forcing you. I am forcing you.
absolutely not.
I mean, we're approaching Thanksgiving, so I'm thinking maybe
Okay.
Okay.
day after, turkey sandwich.
Okay.
On a waffle.
I hadn't thought about that.
Drizzled.
I'm not really getting a lot of maple syrup notes,
Or you know what?
but
Actually preparing Thanksgiving meal, I could really enjoy this.
yeah.
Ooh, so you're
I
getting
can see
those
that.
Thanksgiving
You have a lot
smells.
because it's so
Yeah.
it's got so many. Obviously, we're pulling all kinds of stuff out of it.
Mhm.
Like making Thanksgiving meal where you're like opening the oven and you get hit by a turkey, and then you get hit with the pumpkin pie and
Yeah.
cranberry and like
Yeah.
everything. And I think this is probably for good reason. It's one of our favorite scotches of the year
Mhm.
because there's so much going on there that you can kind of choose your own adventure. And that's what Thanksgiving
now you've got
is.
me like kind of wandering, and I could see carrying this. I've been smoking a turkey the last couple years for Thanksgiving, and so now I'm kind of envisioning carrying this out to the smoker, opening the lid, which
Yeah.
you're really not supposed to do, but checking the bird,
Mhm.
Mhm.
get a little
Scotch
bit
in
of
hand.
smoke, but it's not like an Isla smoke, like a real heavy peat. It's still sweet.
Go on a limb here. I'm going to throw a splash of this in the gravy at the end.
Oh,
Ooh, that's
Ooh.
lovely.
coming over.
On
Yeah.
my waffle turkey sandwich.
That's what Chip's Thanksgivings look like.
No, it's the day after Thanksgiving.
Oh yeah.
That's what
Jeez, Vern, I'm not a savage.
yeah. I still believe in traditions.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to Scotch number 2 because I'm
Scotch
about to
2.
finish Scotch number 1.
Yeah, I know.
So
I better,
good.
better slow down.
So we are all putting down Scotch number 1, and we are all picking up Scotch number 2.
Regrettably.
Or not.
That is fast.
Yeah,
and
easy.
different.
With Scotch 1, did anybody add water? Or
I did.
Okay.
I added about 3 drops.
I went with 2.
Took a little bit of that initial heat away. I actually think it made it seem a little smokier.
Interesting.
Not what I
Interesting.
expected, but I got a little bit more smoke after I added water. So I think it kind of knocked down maybe some of the more savory notes that we were talking about.
Did you like it less or more?
Neither.
Whoa.
No, I mean, I like it with and without the addition of water.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Anybody add any gravy to it?
Not yet. All right, Scotch number 2. Definitely a lot darker than Scotch number 1.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first thing.
If I can qualify that, I think it's definitely a lot darker, your phrase, because Scotch number 1 is so light.
Is the
I mean,
lightest
we've
Scotch.
had we've had darker Scotch, so
It's like
To-
comparing water to
to
amber.
the listeners out there, this is not the darkest Scotch, but Scotch number 1 is just so light.
Might be the lightest we've ever
think so.
tried in this whole club.
Yeah, I don't even know it. Yeah, I don't even know. It looks like it's the inside of a pear is the color of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Absolutely.
just
The inside of a pear
In a pan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
The pears are now inside out.
skin side down in the pan.
Yeah. All right. So this one, I mean, what do we call this? This is like a
It's not quite amber.
copper,
it's like a
amber,
pale
honey,
copper, yeah.
maybe?
Oh, yeah.
maple syrup. Yeah.
Auburn. There you go.
Oh,
yeah.
lovely.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Actually, it does.
Kind of like a raw honey.
Oh, wow. And right when you said honey, I smelled it. And guess what?
Very
Wow.
honey and wood.
A lot of dark fruit.
Oh, yeah.
Lots of honey.
Toffee.
Yeah, lots of dark dried fruit, like
Mhm.
Yeah, I get a
Toffee.
little like cinnamon raisin.
Yeah,
raisins,
for sure.
Yeah.
some dried figs.
Maple. Anybody?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, a little.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely a bit of a burn in the nostrils.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's a good burn.
It's hot.
Yeah.
It's a nice burn.
I haven't tasted it yet, but I am ready to drizzle this over a waffle.
Yeah.
Mhm.
With like
Mhm.
a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, definitely the maple syrup vibes.
Mhm.
Raisins.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Raisins.
It is very sweet.
Did you
Yeah.
drink it with your mouth?
I don't. I want a waffle. Can somebody just hand me a waffle?
There's just a bit of smoke kind of
The-
on the
it's like a
back end.
toasty smoke. Like
Yeah,
that's why
yeah.
like I thought like a really light coffee espresso, something like
Yeah.
something buried back there.
Mm.
Is anybody getting any kind of corn? Like I don't know if it's roasted corn, or toasted corn, or popped
Canned corn.
Street corn? Street corn.
I don't really get the corn, but I do get something that's, what did you say, roasted or toasted?
Vern, I'll give you cornbread.
Maybe
Maybe that's what it is.
Okay.
Okay.
Elote?
Huh, okay.
I'll take my cornbread.
All
and
right.
put maple syrup on
All
it.
right.
Yeah.
Have a good day.
The top is kind of that dried fruit, fig, raisin,
Mm-hmm.
but sort of
Stone fruits.
the base. I guess there's supposed to be like a middle layer, but the base layer is kind of, to me, it's like a real something toasted, roasted,
Slightly toasted graham crackers.
almost roasted malt. If you're outside of a brewery,
Actually, off your graham cracker comment, I was going to say
Oh.
s'mores.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Because I'm getting like a little bit of chocolate and a
Yeah.
little like sweetness, like
roasted
marshmallow.
marshmallows in here too.
Yay, we did it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we did it. We cracked it.
We have really good taste.
Guys,
let
we're
me
so
just
good at
say,
scotching.
But we haven't even tasted.
We haven't even tasted it yet, but
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
sure.
But I'm sure one
we're
day
gonna
we
love
will.
it.
Yeah.
That is really
Yep.
sweet.
Get a little brown.
Yeah.
I'm guessing there's some heat.
There's a lot of heat on
Some
that stuff.
heat.
Good heat.
Wow.
The first thing I'm hit with is just sweetness on the tongue, and then
Yeah.
it's heat right after that.
Wow. This is comparing this to our last scotch.
Yeah.
Holy F.
Mm.
Let's go through some more tasting of this scotch. What are we tasting?
Well, heat isn't a taste.
It's a feeling.
It's a way of
yeah,
life.
it's an emotion.
I
It's
agree with
an
Dave.
emotion.
I get a little bit of initial sweetness on the palate, but kind of as it dissipates, it's almost more like on the sides of the tongue, like a little bit salty.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of smoke on the tail end, but not much.
I do love how it coats my mouth. Is very enjoyable. It's like
It's very warm.
yeah, very warm. But it just sort of takes over your whole mouth in like this big little
Mhm.
micro
It
tsunami
spreads.
of
Yeah.
flavor.
yeah.
But it, like sweet, hot, and then it ends all the way back here. And it's almost like brininess.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe like even a little medicinal type of note. I don't know if that's the phenols from like the peat or something that really kind of hang around a bit.
The smell after the first taste for me is different and really nice. It's like dark chocolate, toffee.
It's almost like, is there a peanut butter in there? Are you catching like
There could
what?
be peanut butter.
When you said that, I thought like chocolate peanut butter cups.
Oh, nice.
But I mean, it's spicy, so you have to find it. You have to dig for it. But if you can like pull the spice away, there's almost some sort of nutty, like a sweet nuttiness to it.
I'm definitely with you on the chocolate.
Sweet nuts.
I'm definitely getting chocolate. And is that chocolate with peanut butter? It might be.
It could be.
It might be.
I feel like it's
It's not a
Because it's not by itself.
feel
It's
like
like
it's more like
blended in.
It's not alone. Yeah.
Yeah.
score bar. Like
or like Nutella, where it's kind of more is that hazelnuts.
Yeah.
Vern, you may be on to something.
oh, that's nice. Yeah.
Do we have a guest?
Special guest incoming.
Get this guy, Mike. Yeah. So in the middle of this pod, we had another guest show up. So with us now is also Taylor. Say hi, Taylor, to the people at home.
Hi. Dude, you nailed that. That was tight. That was a
done.
great intro.
Well done.
Your work here is done.
So Taylor, you have two scotches in front of you. We're tasting the darker one right now.
Which would be Scotch number 2.
Yeah, we're calling it Scotch
and
number
we
2.
are pretending that we don't know what it is.
Yeah, because we're doing a head-to-head combat of these two scotches right now.
So I guess this is good for the people that listen to this that don't go to something like this, because this is my first time. Because I'm just a seasoned veteran at drinking. Tell me what I'm supposed to do.
Put the glass to your mouth.
Yeah,
but smell it up.
Just smell it, but it's really hot. This is so you don't want to really get in there too much. But like get in there, you're gonna stick your nose in, keep your mouth open when you're breathing in.
What's the first thing you smell?
Scotch.
Yeah.
See, you're already doing it. You're already doing it.
You're a natural.
Honorary member.
You're as good as us. Yeah.
I added a couple drops of water. I don't know if anybody else.
I feel like you got to this baby.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So now it seems like everybody's kind of adding a couple drops. How many drops did you do, Andrew?
3 or 4.
3 or 4? Okay.
That's nice. There's still some heat, but it's definitely knocked down enough that I can enjoy it a bit more. I don't know if it takes away that
bam
mouthfeel that you were talking about, Vern, but
the slow roller. I've added some water.
And
what has changed for you?
Raisins now. Raisins came rolling out
On the nose or
on the nose. That's as far as I've gotten.
Toffee.
Yeah.
Toffee
With water?
With water, yeah.
Yeah. It's almost like it just takes the heat away so you can really concentrate on what's actually there.
I mean, just tastes like a tuxedo, you know?
ooh.
I'm sorry, man. How'd you go from raisins to a tuxedo?
Yeah, say more on the
We're
tuxedo.
talking about like legit raisins?
No, raisins on the nose.
Okay.
You smell it. But I tasted it, and it tastes like a tuxedo, but it smells like raisins.
You remember the California raisins? They used to wear tuxedos.
That's right.
Thanks for bringing it together for me. Yeah.
It tastes like a tuxedo looks.
Right.
Very classic.
Yes.
So
I
this
think
is a very
to each his own.
this is a very buttoned up scotch. What does that mean to you?
I think it's just got class. I know that's not an official
Tasting
tasting
note.
note, but it's
Classy
again,
scotch.
Contact the distillery, though.
It's feeling, right? It feels
Like James Bond.
feels like James Bond.
His his texture, his skin, his hair. Yeah.
His texture.
What is his texture?
I don't know. Ask Vern.
Has
Vern's
a
the one that
James
knows.
Bond mouthfeel.
Vern is the one who's comparing.
I started with tuxedo. You guys have introduced James Bond.
Who else do you know wears
Well,
a
we went
tuxedo?
from
Come on.
tuxedo
And his
to
skin
class
texture.
to James Bond, which does make sense.
You also mentioned car gadgets and other things.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
I
You
did.
said this tastes like an Aston Martin.
Getting a little bit of Pierce Brosnan, Sean Connery.
Wait a second. Those two are totally different.
Well, now we need to figure out which James Bond is this scotch.
Well,
Definitely not
I
a Daniel Craig.
don't want to, cancel any potential sponsors, but Pierce Brosnan is kind of like a low-level blend.
Easy, Andrew.
Whoa.
Sean Connery. That's cask strength.
Yeah, and he's also Scotch. right?
Scottish.
I mean, he's the only one.
If you want to be technical,
He is Scotch.
He's the only
Perfect
one.
note.
If that matters to you,
This is Sean Connery.
Chip brings up a good point.
He's the only one.
Yeah.
He is
Yeah.
Scotch.
That's right.
John Connery is Scotch.
So there's Sean Connery, and then there's everybody else.
Yeah.
But also those Danish cookies, the ones with the caramel, they look like wafers.
Oh, and you put them on top of your cup.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I got some of those. What are they called?
No.
Strupel? Strupel?
No.
Stroop waffles?
Stru- yeah.
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 Street waffles.
Whoa.
And we're back to waffles. Good.
Yeah, I'm getting definitely more of that buttery, caramely, whatever that is, that street waffle.
Yeah.
I feel like at the beginning of the scotch, when we were smelling it, we were throwing out there was a lot of talk of breakfast. There was maple and honey and waffles. And then you try it and you're immediately like struck in the face, struck in the mouth, by the heat. But then we're kind of back to breakfast.
Right where
Once
we
it
started.
simmers out,
Yeah.
once it simmers out, we're back
Yeah.
to breakfast.
Yeah.
We're back to a Sunday morning, gentlemen. A Sunday morning with Sean Connery.
Is that Father's Day?
Yeah. Father's Day, indeed,
Yeah.
Chip. Yeah.
After adding water, I get a lot more like salinity now. So salty, kind of
I agree.
yeah.
more of the ocean in there.
Yeah.
I also did water mine down quite a bit.
You did? How
Still
many?
pretty hot.
2 squirts.
Like squash.
It was at least 2 full squirts.
Put a whole bottle of Dasani in there.
Yeah, I'm more of a squirter than a dripper.
Okay.
What? We're talking about
Yeah.
this thing. Eyedropper.
Eyedroppers? Yeah. In eyedropper talk?
Guys, where are you guys at?
Yeah. So, Andrew,
I'm gonna
you
keep
said
my
you did
tuxedo
3
on.
to 4 drips, and Vern, you were 2 squirts.
No. Drops. I'm not
drops.
a dripper. I'm a dropper.
Okay. Andrew was 3 to 4 drips.
Vern
Drops.
is a squirter.
We're definitely banned in some country now.
So we're going to do a final ping pong and go back and forth between the scotches, which is, I know, a crazy move, but we're going to attempt to do
What's
it.
what's the goal here? To decide what our favorite is?
Between the
but
two.
I think, at least for me, I feel like I have to be more specific because they're both phenomenal and they're both very
Yeah.
different.
That's
Mhm.
true.
And so I think maybe it's which one would I drink more of? I mean,
Yeah.
is that like a fair?
I mean, it's to
Well,
each your own.
Those
It's
are
to
those
each
are
your
the
own.
type of considerations that we usually have when we're rating. Would you buy this for a friend? Would you
Yeah.
drink this at home?
So I think what we're trying to do here is this is about how we all feel personally. So we could debate how we feel about both of these, but all of us here have to dig deep into our souls and figure out the question is between these two scotches, which one do you like better? If we are crowning a champion tonight, we are talking about which one are you saying this is my prize horse of these two scotches, which are 2 top rated for the year.
Well, I'm going back to number 1, like it was suggested. I don't know if we're still going to do that.
I mean, you are
just-
rolling, Andrew. Go for it.
Honestly, when you go back,
Going back to number
Scotch
one
and
is-
it smells
is
so fantastic.
amazing.
Because of all of the crazy smells and tastes of this one,
A Scotch 1 or 2?
of Scotch 1,
Okay.
it's more the special, like you have to maybe more appreciate like the intricacies of Scotch. Whereas like number 2, somebody who's just used to hard alcohol, they might take that and be like, oh, it burns. Yeah, that's awesome. You know,
That's a
and
good
that's
point.
it. Like not even,
And maybe overlook what else is there.
yeah, you know, they
Good
just
point.
hit it like it's, oh yeah, hard liquor burns. This is cool.
Yeah.
Whereas like number 1 has all of these subtleties and things that might actually turn people away because it's weird flavors that they're not used to.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's a good read.
Yeah.
Scotch number 2 is more for squirters, and Scotch number 1 is a little more for drippers, I believe.
Oh my God.
All right.
I mean, it's technically true.
You heard that that was Evan. We have Evan's official notes.
The nose on number 2, just how sweet it has gone.
It's so
I also
sweet.
think
Yeah.
I just added more water and I feel like I wish I would have added more water earlier
Yeah,
to
but
number
add-
2?
to number 2.
Add a word of water.
Because a little
watch
bit more
what
water
happens.
and a little more water in number 2 really makes
Well, that was what was weird for me is when I added water, it kind of exaggerated the flavors, which was confusing.
Mm.
Well, because it gets rid of the heat a lot of, so it
Yeah.
lets all the other flavors that are normally, because the heat will
Sort of mask.
will, numb. Yeah, it'll numb the taste buds. So when you
Yeah.
bring it down, you actually taste more, but you lose some of the sensation of the heat.
My impression with both of these, though, and we've mentioned before that just a little bit of time changes the profile, but going from number 2 back to number 1, the nose and the palate were awesome.
Yeah.
Then going back to number 2 a second time, incredible. Like the nose on number 2 the second time,
It's
so sweet and
I mean, vastly different.
Yeah.
But just as
a lot
good.
more of that the s'mores that Dave mentioned.
When I go back and forth on the nose between 1 and 2, nose on 1, charcuterie platter like meat and cheese, and then the second one, maple pancakes.
I feel like I know between these two scotches which one I like better, but I just want to talk about smells for a second. The second scotch is so much more fun to smell because I love breakfast, and Scotch 2, as far as a smell, was just so much breakfasty things like maple and honey and toast and waffles. Whereas, Scotch number 1, we went through everything that we smelled, but it wasn't as fun. Scotch number 2, definitely a fun smelling scotch.
No, just say it. Say the line.
Definitely a fun smelling scotch. That's all I have to say about that.
I'm surprised at how well they played off of each other. Because when you first set them down, they looked so radically different. Their nose, smells, flavor profiles are just so different. But yeah, when you try them kind of one after another and kind of next to each other, they actually kind of play off each other very, very well. So this is a really fun experiment.
I agree. And I think it's interesting because we know what these two scotches are going in, and they're not that dramatically different. This is not like a Laphroaig versus Arbelor, where one is super smoky and peaty and oily, and the other one is just cherry bomb, right? But I don't know. This has just brought out the differences in these two so much. I just keep going back and forth between them. And I'm more undecided now than I was.
It's wild
earlier
to me that these ended up being our 2 top scotches of the year because they're so different in smell, in taste, everything. You would kind of think like maybe our 2 scotches, would
but
kind
they
of be
are
the same.
like really, really good, like in their own right, kind of thing. Like Vern, I think it was Vern was saying, like they're drastically different, but they are amazing.
They are 2 amazing scotches.
All right.
What about new guys? I'd love to get like a fresh take on these 2 scotches.
For me, I'm 1 all day.
Number 1 all day?
Yeah, all day.
Yeah. Why?
For me, it's just, it gets down to like the heat of number 2 is just, for me personally, it's really good. It's got some really interesting notes for me, but it's the heat's a little too much. Whereas with number 1, I'm able to drink it and then pick out a little bit more tasting notes personally.
What about adding water to number 2? Did that?
It didn't really take the heat down that much for me. Surprisingly, I thought it would, but it didn't really take it down.
Did you squirt or just drop?
I squirted. To be honest,
full blown squirt action.
Yeah, I sent it.
Chip,
I feel like in this room, 1 is the better one for me. But if I was camping or if I had a cigar right now, 2 would be where I was at.
Interesting.
Yeah, but in the comfort of this conference room, number 1, I think it's just so pleasant, and there's like so many cool flavors that are happening, and I feel like it's more conversational, and I like 1 a lot.
Okay, forgetting the room or campground that you're in, we're now in what, late fall, early winter? Vern,
correct.
Which one is most appropriate to the season?
If we weren't in 80-degree weather today, if it was colder, number 2, because obviously you want a little bit of burn. And again, like I would still be in that, I don't know. I just feel like I want a cigar with number 2, and we're not there. So I'm having trouble with it.
Taylor, do you want to give your thoughts?
You're right. 1. No, I just have so many other questions. First time, obviously. And I'm just looking around the room and I just have so many questions. I've heard some things. I have questions about that too.
Okay.
Not the squirting part or James Bond or anything, but I'm just going to ask my questions.
Yeah, please do.
I'm looking at about 13 bottles on the table. Can the viewers see this? I don't really know. And then like, have you tasted all these bottles this year?
Yes.
Probably in the last like 4 months.
Yeah.
So 4 months.
Probably the 4 months.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically every month we bring a new bottle, maybe two, and we blind taste test that bottle. So we don't know only one person knows what the bottle is. So normally that person will fill it up behind the curtain for everybody. And then we'll drink that scotch and give our notes. And then they'll reveal it at the end. Like it could be a $20 bottle or it could be $300 bottle or whatever. You never know. And so we give our notes on each one.
Yeah. But the two you're drinking, Taylor, were our two top rated for this year.
Gotcha. So for the last released episode, we picked the 2 top bottles and
then we
just
pick
the classic
one Scotch
showdown
of the year,
Okay.
which we're about to do, and you're about to witness it, and it's a big moment for you.
And
Thank
they will experience a dramatic increase in sales as a result.
Yeah, going to change some lives.
A lot of people are waiting to hear our
Absolutely.
verdict.
yeah. And then I notice you're all dressed like gentlemen.
Thank
Is
you.
this a
Fancily.
okay? Because I'm wearing like
A
some
unitard.
sort of yes. For the listeners, yes. All American flag unitard.
That party's next door. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you can dream it. Good night. Yeah, definitely number 1.
All right.
Any particular reason?
I just like it. The hotness to that second one was real heat going down the old throat.
Even for a seasoned.
Well, seasoned like Bud Light drinker. Let's not fool anybody here. But no, number 1, just I've had scotch before, tried a lot of alcohol. That just has like a bunch of flavors I've never really had before. Second one, yeah, it's what you said. It's the breakfast. It's the maple syrup. It's the
Tuxedo.
street waffle. Yeah, that tuxedo.
Sean Connery.
Canadian tuxedo. But yeah, definitely number 1. Can't tell you what it tastes like.
But the heart knows what
I
the
like
heart wants.
That's right. We appreciate your
Yes.
input anyway.
Yeah.
And the heart wants more.
Of number 1.
Good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
All right, Vern, what is your final verdict?
Number 1.
Number 1.
Just like that. Yeah.
Just like that. Don't want to talk about it
don't want to
anymore.
Talk about it. I don't want anybody to look at me. I just want to say number 1 and leave.
Evan?
Same, number 1.
Wow. Just
Number
like
1 with
that,
the bullet.
you two.
Oh,
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah. Wait,
Yeah.
can I ask
No.
was it no contest or was
Yeah.
it close?
It was, they're both phenomenal
Yes.
scotches, but it comes down to like what I want to drink more. I feel like number 2 almost dips into bourbon for me.
Mm.
And so I have bourbons that I enjoy, even though it would compete very well with bourbon. But those sweeter notes, I like more sort of not sweet scotches. So I think I would just drink more of the number 1 than number 2.
Okay. I think for me, I'm also going to go with number 1. Number 2 is good. But for my personal profile of what I like, it's more closer to number 1. If I bought both of these bottles and I put them up next to each other in my cabinet, I would go for number 1 more often, and that would get finished before number 2. So I have to go with number 1. Dave?
I'm a number 2. I really like the number 2. I like the sweetness of it. I like the complexity of it. It's delicious. Not that I don't have a bottle of number 1 in my house, like ready to go, because these are both phenomenal scotches. I just think, especially because Vern has been an influence on me about time of year. Like this is number 2 is more of a winter Christmas scotchy.
Vern, the
And,
seasoned
yeah.
influencer.
That's so I'm a number 2.
Nice.
Okay.
Might be the only one.
Andrew?
Coming into this, it was an obvious choice, number 1. And my final vote, I think, is number 1, but it's very close. I don't remember enjoying number 2 this much whenever we had it. I don't have much to add to it, but I think regardless of season, I would have either one of these. I really enjoy both of them, and think they benefit from a little bit of time, a little bit of water, but Justin, you put it well. If I had both of these on my shelf, I would sooner reach for number 1. Number 2 requires a little bit more work. Number 1 is just, I would never not enjoy it.
So Chip and Dave poured these scotches for us so they could be blind. So can you guys reveal what Scotch number 1 is?
This is our Scotch of
Scotch
the year.
of the year.
Scotch 1 is the Torabhaig.
We did it.
Clap it up for the Torabhaig.
Hooray.
Congratulations to Torabhaig.
Yeah, new kid on the block.
Yeah.
They
Wins
just showed up.
Scotch
and
of the
they,
the most prestigious Scotch award on the
doesn't even
planet.
have a name. It's so personal.
Yeah, it's the Torabhaig 2017 edition.
Yep, the 2017, the Legacy series.
Yeah.
Aged in oak casks.
Only ex-bourbon oak casks.
And it's
What did we
pretty
say?
young, right?
I think it was like 3 to 4 years.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
wild.
they're a
That's
new
so
distillery.
wild.
So
I
this is their first release. Brand new distillery. Only the second distillery on the island of Skye.
It's got a $58 price point compared to the Highland Park, which is our second favorite of the year, which is at $85. So our number 1 bottle is $58. Our number 2 bottle is $85. It's so
I
wild.
hope Torabhaig isn't listening right now, but I would pay $85 for that
Right.
bottle as well.
Yeah,
I think both of
absolutely.
those bottles are worth that price.
Yeah.
And I expect it to go up because a lot of people like this one.
You expect it to go up because of this podcast alone.
Because of this podcast alone.
But that's crazy that a $58 bottle of 4-year-old Scotch is our number 1 Scotch of the year.
Yeah. I mean, we've had scotches
Yeah.
that
What
were,
times are these?
I mean,
Unprecedented.
yeah,
Unprecedented.
2021 has been crazy for this. We've had, I think our cheapest bottle of 2021 was $16 and our most expensive was probably $120, maybe $130, and a $58 bottle won for this year. That's amazing. I love that.
So the Torabhaig is just sitting at 46%
Okay.
compared to Highland Park at 63.3.
Yeah. So that explains
That is
all the heat.
That is
Yeah.
the difference.
You definitely feel that.
Number 2. Yeah. So one thing I love about the Torabhaig is that they put a lot of the specific info on the label, which is kind of annoying, I guess. I don't know.
A little bit bold, though.
Yeah, it is, I think.
Bold move.
Especially as a new distillery, like they're kind of bucking the trend because if you read a lot of Scotch labels, it sort of just sounds like marketing, but they just put it right out there. They tell you exactly what they're using. They tell you the type of barley, concerto barley. They tell you the phenols are 55 to 60 ppm, which is pretty high. That's considered heavily peated. I think the Highland Park 12 is somewhere 10 to 15 ppm. So this is much higher. They tell you the type of yeast they use, no chill filtration or coloring. After distillation, it's 16 ppm, which is crazy that the barley starts at 55 to 60 ppm, which is very heavily peated, and what we're drinking is only 16. I don't know. I think it's kind of cool that they give you the information rather than just giving you like.
They're definitely not afraid. They are the new kid on the block, and they are saying, "Come at me, bro."
It's also the only bottle I've ever seen that has 3 separate front labels. I remember graphic designer. I can say
we
that
talked
that's pretty
about this.
uncanny.
Yeah.
I remember that we talked about this the last time that we thought the labeling.
Yeah.
Evan H thought the labeling was pretty awful.
They're
Pretty front
definitely,
labels, man.
Yeah,
it's definitely different.
Unprecedented.
But the negative space creates a T.
Oh.
Wow. New designer. You get a free membership.
Whoa.
It
they
pays
should
to
have-
have a graphic
Thanks,
designer come to your meetings. Well, I think we've crowned our champion.
That was fun.
So we will close that. We'll close this out with a toast.
Everybody's glasses raised, please. May we live for as long as we want and never want for as long as we live.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Here.
I want more scotch.
I can come up with another toast.
Just scotch.
If you like what we are doing, please follow or subscribe.
Wherever you enjoy podcasts, whether it's in Ohio or France.
So you know when we have new episodes released.
And tell your friends.
Find us on Instagram or Facebook.
At Mystery Scotch Tasting.
And leave us a comment.
Always remember to enjoy your scotch responsibly.
And please tell your friends.